Anthrax infections is rare in humans, but not especially rare in cattle, sheep, goats, camels, and antelopes. Anthrax is a global bacteria, but the disease is more common in developing nations without public health services. There are over 89 known strands of anthrax. People in Africa where they raise cattle are more likely to get anthrax, as anthrax is getting by touching infected animals or animal products such as wool, hides, leather, or hair products. After being exposed to anthrax, symptoms usually show up within 7 days.
Where the day flows, only time, and who can say if your love grows as your heart shows, only time. We gotta
of rodents, particularly black rats, prairie dogs, chipmunks, squirrels, and other similarly large rodents. Human infections most often occur when a person is bitten by a rat flea that has fed on infected rodents. Any serious outbreak of the plague is started by other disease outbreaks in the rodent population. During these outbreaks, infected fleas that have lost their normal host seek other sources of blood. The disease becomes evident in 2 to 7 days after an infection. Internal symptoms are chills, fevers, diarrhea, and headaches. In the United States, human plague cases average about 10 to 15 per year. Worldwide, there are about 1,000 to 2,000 cases each year. People who are at risk usually live in rural areas where there are wild rodents, such people as biologists, trappers, and hunters, and who handle potentially infected animals. Also campers, hikers, and travelers, and other areas where the plague is known to exist. Some places where the plague can be found are in semi-arid areas in Asia, Eastern Europe, Africa, and South America, and Northern America. In the United States, most cases in humans occur in 2 regions, northern New Mexico, northern Arizona, and southern Colorado. In California, southern Oregon, and far western Nevada. Smallpox is a highly contagious disease unique to humans. Famous victims of the disease include Mary II of England, Peter II of Russia, Henry VIII, fourth wife Anne of Cleves, Elizabeth I of England, Abraham Lincoln, and Joseph Stalin.
Earlier, we have evidence going back a long time in history that smallpox existed, and that the most convincing comes from ancient Egypt, and the thought is that probably it was around even before then. When you take a look at some of the most devastating diseases that we've seen in human history, including smallpox, including bubonic plague, including AIDS, how does smallpox rank?
My own view is that smallpox probably killed more people than any of those. If you recall, bubonic plague decimated Europe and some parts of Asia and other parts of the world periodically during the Middle Ages. And before then, there was disease around. But in contrast to that, smallpox was always there, more often in epidemic form than bubonic plague was. Both diseases were generally around at a low grade, so-called endemic levels. But smallpox was always there at endemic levels like plague. What was much more frequent in breaking out into epidemics, which killed large numbers of people. And so I think, without having any specific numbers to be able to cite, I'm personally convinced that smallpox over time killed more people than any other single disease in human history.
Before we had the concept of
The Ebola virus was first identified in western Sudan and a nearby section of the DR, or Democratic Republic of the Congo. Ebola hemorrhagic fever is caused by a virus that belongs to the Filoviridae family. Ebola causes sudden fever with weakness, muscle aches, headaches, sore throat, followed by vomiting, diarrhea, rash, and deteriorating liver and kidney function, paired with massive internal and external bleeding through all body orifices, including skin. Ebola can be passed through direct contact with blood, secretions, organs, and is an STD. It may also be passed by a specific species of chimp on the Ivory Coast. There is no known cure. Hepatitis is found worldwide. Hepatitis A is transferred through fecal-oral transmission, such as when someone puts something in their mouth, like food or drink, that has been contaminated with an infected person's feces. Hepatitis B is transferred from mothers to newborn babies through blood exposure at birth. Hepatitis C is transferred the same way. Hepatitis literally means inflammation of the liver. It is difficult to pinpoint the source of hemorrhagic colitis. Hemorrhagic colitis is a dangerous strain of E. coli, caused by a bacterium called Escherichia coli. It is transmitted through contaminated food and water. Infection causes severe abdominal pain and bloody diarrhea. Sometimes there are no symptoms. The illness lasts 5 to 10 days, particularly in elders and children. Hemorrhagic colitis causes destruction of red blood cells and kidney failure.